Hey guys, what's going on? Walter Melon back again with a full commentary, and I'm going to be talking about my legend run that completed just as the Retro Cup ended. Basically, the morning that it was going to end, typically the rotation goes into effect at 1 p.m. my time, and I knew I had a crazy Retro Cup team. I climbed almost 500 ELO from veteran to legend during the Retro Cup. It was my favorite cup of the year, or not of the year, but of the season for sure. And my team is basically Talonflame. I have the rank 1, so I have Talonflame on the lead, and then I have Gudra as a safe swap, and then I have Annihilate in the back. Oftentimes, people running these double normal teams will swap like a Licky Licky or a Dunsparce into Talonflame, and you just swap your Annihilate into it. You can tank a Shadow Ball from Licky Licky. A lot of times they'll end up shielding your moves to try and get switch, but they have to go down 2 shields to do so, so it's actually a really, really nice situation. And on Annihilate, I'm running Rage Fist. Night slash Shadow Ball really isn't useful because this meta was dominated by normal types, and Night Slash allows you to get a bit more play into some of those psychic types like Girafarig and Oranguru, which you need something to be able to hit those. On my Talonflame, I'm running Flame Charge Fly. Honestly, Flame Charge should be Brave Bird. I was experimenting. It didn't make a huge deal, but there are a couple of games that I do think I would have won with Brave Bird, so it is what it is. And then from there, I had a Gudra with Draco Meteor. Thunder Punch really wasn't useful at all in this cup. Draco Meteor just gives you the threat against a lot of those mons. You can win a lot of games where they just don't respect it, and you one-shot their Pokemon and get switch. It's just overall much better than Thunder Punch. So that's what I went with, and I did really enjoy this cup. This team was, something that I came up with, albeit none of these Pokemon were, too unexpected, but it was something I was happy with, and with all the meta changes, my previous teams really haven't worked at all. I haven't been as successful in the Great League and such, so I'm happy to have it, and I'm super relieved because I didn't think I was going to hit Legend this season, so, overall, I was pretty surprised and very happy that it did happen. Looking at next season, obviously I can't recommend this team because Retro Cup is over and, there's barely any time left in this season. But looking forward to next season, there's Galarian Corsola, which is coming out right now in this last event of the current season. That Pokemon is busted and is going to be the #1 Pokemon next season. Kind of unfortunate because you can only get it from eggs, and you need XL candy, so super hard to actually get your hands on something that's going to be good. It reminds me a lot of Azumarill because it has a lot of fast move pressure, and it's super, super tanky. It has a crazy high stat product, so it to me feels a lot like an Azumarill with, it has really good typing like Azumarill, but I think it has a better moveset in Nightshade and Power Gem, so we'll see where that leaves us. I think there's going to be a lot of Diggersby, a lot of Pangoro, and a lot of Dunsparce. I think all those are going to be necessary to counter Galarian Corsola. Even something like Carbink, which in the past was like a crazy stat product merchant, I don't think it was as dangerous as Galarian Corsola because Galarian Corsola's moveset is just better. Specifically, its fast move is Astonish, which is just way better than Rock Throw. And so even though Carbink has a higher stat product, I still think that Corsola is just better as a Pokemon. So we'll see where that leaves us. They changed all the elemental punches as well. So my good friend Gudra over here will have a little bit more play, albeit 5 damage really isn't a whole lot. So it might shake up the meta there. You can see why I run the Draco Meteor, but basically, I don't think any of the changes were enormous. I think that Galarian Corsola being released into the wild is going to be a pretty big change. And, from there, it kind of is what it is. All right, so now we're going to get into sort of the last couple of battles. So I've slowed it down a bit here, but these battles, I think 3-0 in the set going into these last 2 battles, and so all I needed was 1 win in order to hit Legends. So Just sort of beep. Okay, so basically, I wasn't. I was going crazy hard the first game, and then of the recording, and then the second one, I do win the first game, and so I wasn't super threatened. I knew I had it. Here you can see. Oh no, this is the second game right here. So you can see that they catch me without throwing on my Gudra, so they catch with a Shadow Latios, and at that point I'm kind of screwed because I've lost all this energy. Basically, I've lost a Draco Meteor, which either gets a shield or knocks out basically any Pokemon, because there are no fairy types. So, yeah, I don't know why it's just slowed down for this last clip, but it is what it is. We'll make it through it. You can see I land this. Nope, don't land the fly. They shield that. And then I'm kind of, at this point, I know I'm not in good hands. They do make it to a last move. Dragon Claw, even though it's not a super hard-hitting move from a Shadow Latios, certainly will hit my Annihilate quite hard. And then they go into our good friend Clodsire, and it's a wrap at this point, but I also know that I've hit Legend, so I don't really care. Yeah, so overall, this season has been a bit of a wild ride. I am happy that they did change the switch timer. Overall, I do think that's a slight positive. I kind of went back and forth where at first I thought it was, a nothing burger, and then I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And then after that, I was like, it's not as good as I thought. Things like Shadow for Alligator, Drapion, they just spam moves so quickly that it kind of allows them to just stall out any switch timer, which isn't the best. So it kind of is what it is. I think it's a little bit better, but not as huge of an impact as I would have originally, after I had played with it, so I like the changes. I like the big shakeup. You can see I'm catching this Morpeko, which has pretty decent IVs. 1100 is pretty decent. And here you see I make it to Legend 3007, and there we go. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to subscribe. It's been your boy Watomar Melon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.